Notes for my May 2024 reading of Inside Out, a memoir by Demi Moore. Here's the book. I started it on Sunday, 5 May 2024, and finished it today before filming this on Thursday, 9 May 2024. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I checked this out from the King County Library System here in Washington State, United States of America, Planet Earth the original. And it's Inside Out, a memoir by Demi Moore, 2019 hardcover edition. I'll put the ISBN in the video description. Yeah, pretty quick introduction. Okay. Book notes, including construction and design, is somebody wore perfume when they read this. The pages smell like a perfume, and I opened it after I got it from the library, and I was like, whew, it's perfume. And the smell and perfume is still here even after I read it. So there was an aroma or an odor, or however one wants to term perfume. I don't personally wear a perfume or cologne or anything like that, so I was like, whoa. But, or was it designed like that? I don't actually know. I'm guessing somebody wore perfume when they read it, but for all I know, it was designed with an aroma. I don't actually know. So potentially construction and design, and if not, I guess that's construction and design in the sense of aromas can stick to the pages. The pages were a good thickness. I could not see the text through the other side, which was kind of a nice reprieve from some of the books I've been reading that have thinner pages and I can see the text through. I was like, I can't read the text on the other side of the page. So I was a fan of that. And I did read it, like my chunks of time for reading like 15 pages at a time, say, were faster. And I think in part it was the thicker page. It's not competing with text from the other side of the page. So that was quite well designed. I liked the formatting. It was kind of no nonsense, and it was legit. Just there were parts, and you know, very concise. This is what this part of the book is about, and then the chapters were just the chapter. So that was very no nonsense. Name, and so author name Demi Moore, Inside Out, name of the book on the top, and then page numbers were on the bottom. There were visuals, there were pictures. There's one section, so sometimes there are no visuals or pictures or anything like that. Sometimes it's one section. She did one section. Sometimes it's multiple sections, so it was one. And yes, inside description about the story, and on the front inside cover, and then the inside back cover was a little bit about the author. There was an acknowledgments, an epilogue and an acknowledgement section. So there we go. Reading notes. I learned that Demi Moore comes from her first husband's surname. So she took the name Moore from her first husband. Per this book, her surname was Guyens. Gins? I was thinking of the Nyins, Nguyen, or Nguyen is the name I've seen some. I don't think it's that, but I also don't know how to pronounce it. So Moore, his first husband's name. Then after the first husband, there was Bruce Willis, and after that there was Ashton Kutcher. So three soulmate lady as presented in the book. And she even walked the red carpet one time with Bruce Willis on one arm and Ashton Kutcher on the other, and her three daughters in front. And I was like, can't say it hasn't been done. Well, at least one lady has done the multiple soulmates in public on a red carpet and stuff like that, with their children and stuff like that. So I was like, go girl, go. One of the things I thought she did very well, and I've highlighted another book on this channel for doing it well, was Memoirs of a Geisha, the 1997, was it the 1997 vintage collection, or the 1990s book Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. In my notes for that one, I pointed out that it was a number of years past over like a 5-page span. She does a very excellent job of, I think it was 1998 to about 2010-ish. She covered in a relatively not quite 5 pages, but like a relic for like kind of, it's like maybe 30 to 60. Like it was a good clip. Kind of the beginning of the book was kind of more spaced out, and so it kind of picked up the pace. And I thought she did an excellent job of the communication of like structurally how time passed, like how her life operated in such a way to concisely communicate what happened over that decade-ish of her time of her life. So I thought that was, I would say that was a highlight. I think if I were to give it a rating, I would give it a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5, because the tone was kind of, it might be the first of these right? At least that I'm thinking of bringing up at the time, but the tone was a little off-putting. I would say it was kind of a fixation on the negative. The 2 princess books, so for Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton, the authors were very much like the tone was very much pushing, you know, upper class is commoner. And this book had, but it wasn't like it wasn't a negative fixation, whereas this was kind of a negativity fixation, if that makes sense. So like, while the tone for that stuff was off-putting, it wasn't drag me down, kind of. It was more of like pushing this thing that I'm like, it's not quite working, but I see what you're doing there, so I do notice the tone. So for this one was like a negativity fixation. So I have not decided yet. It's a 4 or 4.5 for like the whole thing, out of 5. But the tone was kind of the thing for this book that was a little bit of a detractor. If there were spelling and punctuation errors and stuff like that, it did not detract, and I did not pick up on them. And so that was she did that very well. In terms of, so we have the 3 soulmates as portrayed in the book. I would say she's one woman, 3 soulmates, all dudes. Is there anything else? Age difference? Oh, she's, I remember her a little bit from the Ashton Kutcher stuff, and I remember it was like possibly the only thing I liked about her was so the average marrying age for a woman in America is like, United States of America is like 27 years old, and the last time I checked the statistics, the average marrying age for a man was like 24 years old. And so it was like, my mom is over 3 years, but still like approximately 3 years older than my dad. So it's representative of average if those 2 metrics were paired, kind of thing. And my mom wasn't the only woman that was like older than the man, but she was one of the few, like, put it this way, for how prevalent that is in American society, there were very few representative like women who are older than men in relationships, even if a small gap at the highest level. And Demi Moore was like the one when I was growing up as a kid, and my mom's older than my dad. I was like, yeah, I kind of like got one person to be like, look, that exists, right? And it's actually relatively common compared to like who the press decides to highlight. So there's one I thought. She did bring that up, right, the age difference, but I was like, we need more women like her, right? And especially the women older than the men relationships, if we wanted a true representation of society that's extraordinarily underrepresented in the American press, still is. And then anything else? Age difference? So there was there an age difference between her and Bruce Willis? She points out it was 15 years between her and Ashton Kutcher. I was like thinking, and I was like, you know, does an age difference matter if the woman is 20 years younger than the man, and the woman really loves the man and says the man is absolutely phenomenal in the bedroom? Is an age difference really a big deal? Okay, like so like how does one like communicate to society, especially if she brought up Paulo Coelho, who the book The Alchemist, I've done a reading notes, book notes video for before on this channel. And there's a character in there that's 200 years of age and you're still youthful and stuff. And I'm like, so if we're all living to 200 years of age, you know, at some point, like, just because somebody's insecure, that person could be my parent, right? Like they push their insecurities about age differences on other people and then make people miserable. I'm like, I'd be sad if she had to suffer because of other people's insecurities being pushed on her, right? So does the way that become popularized of we accept true love and what it looks like, even with age differences, right? That's part of true love, even, is a woman whose soulmate, like, has a soulmate, and that soulmate, that man or whoever, has only her as the soulmate, and the woman really loves the man and he's phenomenal, sweet loving. Like, does that just take off in the press, and that's how age differences become socially accepted? Is the female, 20-year younger female, absolutely adoring sweet loving with the 20-year-old, the man 20 years of age older than her. Oh, that's why we stay in the same bedroom. That hamster in the bed, you know, just, it's phenomenal. But I got thinking about that stuff. I was like, she's been really horrendously treated by the press, and I'm aware of that. I was born approximately 1993, so I've been aware of, like, this is somebody who's just been because everybody who had an eating disorder was jealous of her body, and I was just like, no, I'm not following the person because I don't want to deal with that hate train that says they're really fans but really just want to take everything they can from her. It was just like, but yeah, I wish her the best. And all, you know, the people I cover on this channel, I wish you guys the best. So in conclusion, have not decided, 4 or 4.5. The library system goes 0.5 to 5 and 0.5 increments. So I have to decide. I do rate my items, or at least try to. Sometimes I forget. So there we go. So my notes for my May 2024 reading of Inside Out, a memoir by Demi Moore.